Hey everybody, welcome to Hot Shot Sports Talk. This is Hollis V, Willie G. We're here to take hot shots at sports issues affecting us today. All right, Hollis, how you been this week, my dude?
I'm good, man.
You
Uh,
good?
just just living the dream. Got over that turkey hangover, and we didn't really have a turkey hangover at our house because we cooked some prime ribs. So I'm done with that.
I know we
Then,
didn't we didn't even have a third game to watch.
well, that one had that that one happened today.
Yeah, I
That one
know.
happened today. We
I
gotta watch
watched
that at noon.
Thanksgiving football on Wednesday the following week.
I know, man. Like I didn't even know what to do. Like I didn't have any beer at the house.
Oh my
I was
goodness.
like, oh, it was ridiculous. No, things went good. Then it's been snowing a little bit here in Anchorage, so had to go out on push some around on the plow. So I got to do that later tonight. So, but other than that, yeah, man, things are good.
Nice. This episode, I think we're gonna talk a little bit about the Roy Jones Jr. Mike Tyson fight. We're gonna talk about the situation with COVID and the NFL right now. Then I think we're just gonna shoot the shit for a little bit. Talk a little sports, whatever tickles our fancy. I know we got the NBA is getting ready to start up here pretty soon.
Yep,
We got some big key trades happening, so.
yep.
As long as we
Got a
keep things rolling, we'll get through this tonight. No
yep.
issues.
Got a little bit of darts action coming up for my fellow dart nerds.
Oh yeah.
Give a few plugs on that. We
Well,
had
I
a
tell you
few
what, give
big.
us a plug on that dart right now. Let's hear it. What's going on with the dart world right now.
Well,
Let's just
there's a lot going on. I mean, if you want to talk professional, we got the World Dart Championship coming up here in a couple weeks. It's actually they're doing the draw for those matches here in a little bit. That's going to start, I believe, the here in 2 weeks. I think it's December 12th through the 13th. And so that's actually pretty cool. It's really it's a big deal. It's a big event. It's you see a lot of good darts come out in that. It's one of my favorite times of year because I just get to watch darts every day for a long time. So it starts
right,
the
right,
it's
right.
about 2 weeks in December, and then the championship for that the finals happens on New Year's Day. Uh, Moving on to some local Alaska stuff, we've had a couple of big in-person steel tip tournaments that got canceled due to COVID. Um, One was supposed to happen down in Cooper Landing, but that one was postponed till the first part of the year. So instead of that, we're a buddy of mine who lives in Eagle River. His name's David Carroll. He's actually doing the thing that I wanted to do when this COVID stuff popped out, and he has the reach. He's got the drive to do it. It's actually pretty cool. We're having our first main big online integrated steel tip dart tournament. It's
Oh,
seclu- uh, just primarily for Alaskans. It's pretty cool. It's going on the December 13th and 14th. I can I've posted a flyer about it on my Facebook. We can check it there. I can even put it in the comments on this link. But it's pretty cool because it's all singles events and it's all online. So you have the opportunity to do it from your house. You can see behind me. I mean, I've got
anybody
my whole
can join
webcam.
as long as they got a webcam.
Yeah, as long as you've got a webcam, you've got access to a scoring software that we use in these tournaments called Dart Connect. You don't have to have a subscription to it. Subscription is like $24 a year. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of different things. But if you don't want to, if you want to save your money and not spend that $24, you don't have to do it.
You don't
You
have to
just have to have.
subscribe,
Yeah, no, you can go in as a guest and you can
but
be.
you do have to subscribe to Hot Shot Sports Talk
Yeah,
with Willie
of
G and
course.
Hollis B.
Yeah, and we might. I mean, I don't know if we can have everything set up. I can talk with Dave. We might do some live stream of those events. That's one thing that we haven't done up here
Hell
in Alaska.
yeah.
Yeah, man. It's I've been doing these online webcam stuff since COVID popped out, and some people are not in the steel tip community are not as big to get on board for this. But just there's a lot of different factors, man. It's weird. You got to use a computer. You got to do different things that some people aren't that comfortable with. But it's not that hard, man. I mean, I can if I can do it, if I can set this up in rock and actually make it look like halfway decent, then anybody can because I'm not your best tech savvy guy. Um, my friend in Eagle River that puts a lot of these on, Dave Carroll, he runs steel tip tournament out at the Homestead Lounge every Tuesday night. It's a lot of fun. They've got a nice setup out there, but with the shutdown here in Anchorage for the month of December, which I don't know if you were aware of that or not, Willie.
Yeah, all the way
Anchorage
to
is
January 3rd or something like that.
yeah, so the opportunity to play in-person darts is it's not there. So we got to resort to other things that make us happy, and it's a big deal. I think it's going to be the biggest one, uh, biggest online tournament in Alaska that we've seen, steel tip anyway, and it's coming up here. It'll be the 13th and 14th um, of December. So not this weekend, but next weekend is it's going to be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Hell yeah.
So
That's good to know that, people are still finding ways to get together even though it's not in person. Be able to do these things and put these events on and,
yeah,
you
and
know.
and it's also given opportunities for a lot of people that do play that are pretty hardcore steel tip players, but don't have the opportunity to get exposure and play talented individuals, and instead of just their local, banging around their local
Yeah,
groups at their local
that's
bars.
when you got to throw in that extra 400 or 500 bucks and head down to the Vegas regionals and get
Yeah,
in,
well,
get in like that. Like they either you just go or you don't at that point.
yeah, but
You
but
know.
this is giving some of those guys opportunities. I mean, I played in one tournament the other day. Um, it was Friday, and I played some guys that I probably would never have ever had the chance to play unless I'd have done this. And it was, I mean, I got my ass whooped. It was what it was. It was a learning experience. I mean, I definitely did my damage, but I mean, hey, it's fun. It's all about experience, and
I know
there's always
I
next
need to
time.
get a board up right here so we could at
Oh
least
yeah,
we
you
could be
do.
playing against each other.
Yeah. So that's my main spiel about darts is just and well I mean I can cover it some more. We've had some big major upsets in the big pro world here in the past couple of weeks. That's pretty nice, but I'm not going to bore everybody with my dart nerd card. I know everybody isn't a dart nerd
Well,
like me, but hey, I'm trying to spread the word. So
hey, everybody's got their thing and their shtick, and we still love you for it, Hollis. It's all good.
hey, I could be on here talking about some freaking magic and about how I'm going to go play in a magic tournament next month, but
Oh, I thought you were talking like pull a rabbit out of a hat magic, and I'm like, hey,
there's those
are you
too.
going to go play a Magic the Gathering tournament next month?
Oh, I've never played a game of Magic.
Don't lie
No,
to me, Hollis.
come on
I
now.
played Magic.
I've seen cards. I remember how they used to do it.
All right, well, we're gonna move on. We're gonna talk a little bit about this Mike Tyson Roy Jones Jr. fight, dude.
Man,
They
that was
called it a
dope.
draw, and I think they only called it a draw to not hurt Roy Jones Jr.'s feelings, because it was an exhibition match. There was no real WBC judges on hand. Anybody who watched that fight saw Mike Tyson fucking
Dude.
own the
And
fight.
well, and we had talked about the fight before, and I had made the observation that I felt that Roy Jones was going to be in more shape. He was going to be ready to go.
He,
The
he
last time he
wasn't
fought. No, he wasn't. He looked like if I had gone out there off the street right
off the
now and
couch,
went out there and
bro.
fight. Yeah, like just like, hey, Hollis, you got to fight right now in 20 minutes. Okay,
Now, did you see the post fight
like let's
interview?
go.
Did you see the
Uh,
post fight interview with both fighters?
yeah, I
That
did.
was hilarious.
Yeah,
And Tyson's like, "Yo, bro, let's do it again." And you could see it in Roy Jones' eyes, like,
yeah.
"Yeah,
Well,
yo, dude, like, I,
yeah, because he.
I
Well, and
don't
we had
know if I
talked
really
about.
want to get into that
Yeah,
again."
because he made the comment several times. He was like, "Man, those body shots. You ever get hit by Mike? Ooh, like you could even tell, like he was getting
And
him." But
props to Jones for being able to take him. And he took some hooks to the face too.
yeah,
It's not like they weren't throwing punches.
yeah, there.
He-
It's not like they weren't trying. And Roy Jones got Mike a couple times with a
I
couple hooks
I
and some,
I
but he
don't
definitely did not get as much as Roy. But
I don't think that Roy went out on his shield. I think he made it a little boring by all the grabbing. He,
he didn't have no other chance. What else was he gonna do? He
dip,
was about to
dodge,
get
duck,
knocked
dive,
out.
and dodge, bro. Yeah, that's it.
he was he was about to get knocked the
Eh,
fuck out. And
we're here
if
for
if he
excitement.
hadn't have
Bro,
hugged,
you're getting
if
paid 10 mil to get knocked out by Tyson.
yeah, well, yeah, I don't think he wanted to go down like that because I'm pretty sure that Roy Jones Jr.
How do you
he
want to
was more
go down?
he was he was way more confident than but pre-fight than he was when he went out there and actually started when the punches started getting thrown. You could
Oh
see
yeah.
that his confidence level went down like
I didn't
way
see
down.
Tyson slow down that much in the eight
I didn't
rounds,
either.
though.
That dude, the only thing that he looked old with him
Is his
was
face
yeah,
and a
and
little
so
bit of chub over top, but hey, yo, dude, you're 54 years old.
yeah, was 51. I think Roy Jones Jr. is 54,
Okay.
but I could be wrong.
No,
I
I
think
thought
that
Tyson's older.
oh well, I could
Tyson's
be wrong.
definitely older.
Yeah, and and I mean, if you look at now, let's talk about it really. I mean, like if I'm Roy Jones Jr. and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna prepare and all that stuff, man, he could have shaved his chest before the fight.
Could have
I mean,
got on the
shaved his
treadmill.
but at least shave off. Like I don't even know what it was. It'd be like me going out fighting with what little chest hair that I have. Like just shave it off, man. Like get rid of it. There ain't no reason to, go out there with all that mess. Just looking
Mike
like
Tyson
looking.
did look maybe the best shape a 54-year-old could ever look.
Man, that dude did. He was doing his thing. I mean, just his speed and the way that he was going and countering everything, and just his follow ups and all. Man, he looked.
I think you give that guy
It was
10
it was
ounce
so quick.
gloves and he might could climb that ladder. He said he doesn't want to.
Yeah, you were right. Roy Jones is younger, so I'm sorry. We had to.
Oh, you're all good. I mean, I think that Mike Tyson could beat an Andy Ruiz.
Yeah, yes, he
Ruiz is the
could.
fourth ranked fighter in the world.
Well, in Ruiz, he was the big Hispanic dude. Then he's
Yeah,
the first
the bigger,
Mexican to
and I
win.
think that if
Man,
it
Tyson
might,
would destroy that dude. That
that's
guy is so out of shape. It was like
now. What if you put Tyson against Fury though?
that'd be I'd love to watch that. I still think that Tyson looked in a lot better shape than Fury, but man, I don't know. I mean,
I
Fury's a lot bigger dude, and I mean,
Fury
and
wouldn't
and
grab though. Fury would try to box the dude, which would
yeah,
be.
and he's gonna walk around and he's gonna slip a weight in his glove and go knock
Oh,
Tyson
don't
with
even
it.
go there, dude. The guy's got gigantic fucking hands. Those gloves barely even. You try to put
Yeah,
10 ounces of anything on his hand, and it's
I'm
not
just
gonna
yeah,
fit.
I'm just being the devil's
Oh
advocate of
yeah,
all
it's
the
all good.
different conspiracy theories that came out off of Fury's last fight that he won, and where people are
He
saying that he
if
tossed
Wilder actually believes that shit, he's a punk, and that's how I
yeah,
personally feel
it was
because
just fans.
I don't think that. No, he said it out loud.
Oh,
Wilder
he
said
did.
it out loud. Oh
He said that he
yeah,
had.
he
Oh
had
man, that's
something in his
yeah.
glove, and it's like, no, dude, you got to have more integrity for yourself before you say some shit like that. And the boxing commission that writes off on their gloves, literally signs off on their gloves, saying, "I wrapped this glove."
Yeah,
I put these gloves on the fighter. That's why you see fighters that's always initialed up here by the guy who wraps it, and the wristbands on the underside are always initialed by the athletic commission that is sanctioning the fight because they're
right,
there, and the gloves don't even show up. Like you can't even like stitch something into the gloves because the boxing commission has the gloves until the fight starts.
right.
Like when Wilder
Yeah,
says that
that's
shit, I
well.
was like,
He's
dude,
just being a sore loser and just
he
trying to
couldn't
make
believe he
excuses.
got fucking
Yeah,
beat, and he
yeah,
got beat the
right.
first fight too, in my opinion. That draw. You watch that whole fight, and you're like,
Yeah. No, this whole the thriller, the Tyson Thriller event was freaking
it was
awesome, man.
great.
I
I
mean,
love the
you know,
music.
I enjoyed
Some of the acts weren't as good as others.
yeah,
Having
but
Snoop Dogg commentate a fight
that was awesome.
quite
But
possibly might have been the best thing ever. I wrote down some
oh,
quotes from the fight.
man, poor Nate Robinson. The first fight he jumps in and starts commentating was the Nate Robinson fight, and so like he's sitting there, old dude is singing freaking uh old uh, old school church rich hymnals, just sitting there, just starts singing, and then all of a sudden there goes Nate. Poor Nate Robinson. I thought that fool was gonna do a lot better. And I mean, I hadn't even heard of Jake Paul until this past weekend. I had no idea who he was, and
I
apparently
believe it's like Logan Paul's brother. Logan Paul's
I don't.
super famous. They're both super famous on
But
fucking on YouTube, Instagram, all
yeah,
that kind of stuff.
yeah. So he's he's doing his. Yeah, I had no idea, and I looked at some and so I instantly hated him. Um, and so that's I loved Nate Robinson. I love watching him hoop. I love watching him ball. And old dude needs to go back to slam dunk contests. Like he does it.
Hey, you know what? Hey, Jake Paul, fucking right. He's
Yeah,
fucking right. He
yeah,
needs to go back to doing slam dunk contests
yeah.
because whoever thought it was a good idea for Nate Robinson to get in that ring unprepared as he was, that was
He
an
wasn't.
embarrassment.
Yeah, I felt bad for him, man. I mean,
I didn't
he didn't
feel
even
bad that he
last a
got
round.
knocked out. I felt bad for his image. The guy didn't even throw a straight punch. Everything came wild from the
Yeah,
side. He fell down twice running
yep.
at him. Like, dude,
And then because he made it one round, right? And he came out the first round, and they were telling him, they talked to him different stuff, and then he came out in the second round and just got KO'd.
and the
Um,
thing,
but
well, the thing is, it's like, you know, yo, you don't know what you're made of until you get hit, and then that's what they say
yeah,
in boxing. And instantly, you found out the dude was a joke in
yeah,
the
because
ring.
was doing zero, like all what do you say? He was
And this is
running,
with this is with
you
all
know.
this is with all due respect to Nate, because the guy is a phenomenal basketball player, dual sport athlete, NBA, NFL. Um, but you gotta know your lane, bro. You got embarrassed in front of the largest pay-per-view sell of fucking
Yeah.
2020.
Well, and I think I think that Jake Paul actually might have done his image a little bit better, and how he handled that post fight
The
interview.
post-fight, because there was a lot of jargon
Yeah,
before the
there
fight.
was a lot of
They,
shit talking. Dude,
yeah.
dude trolled. Did you his walkout song was sitting trolling Nate
Oh,
Robinson
I
with
know.
yeah, like I was like, is he yeah, and
Basketball.
it's yeah, like
Basketball.
that was pretty gangster. Like I
Oh
mean,
man,
dude
are
trolling him
you
like that,
kidding me? He
like
knew going out though. He's like, I'm gonna fuck Nate Robinson. Oh, he
he
knew it.
must have, but he did, but he held true, and he he gave Nate his props of what he did, and then
He
he focused on more instead of talking trash and saying, hey, I just beat down this guy that
he
had
talked
no
more. I
business.
want to make this a future. Now,
Yes, exactly. He
now
talked
Jake
to
Paul, he didn't look the best. He looked like an amateur fighter.
yeah,
Um,
but he also didn't have a chance to like what
showcase anything.
yeah, because of what the way that he's having to defend off that the brawl that Nate was trying to bring on.
Yeah,
Just sit there and run it,
he didn't get a
Yeah,
chance to showcase anything. He didn't get a chance to uh get put into a bad position. So we really didn't get to see a lot of the boxing skills of Jake Paul. Um I hope for his sake, he gets back in the gym, gets more fights that are relevant. Um and
man. Who,
just
Nate Robinson or Jake Paul?
Jake Paul. Nate
Okay, I was like
Robinson needs to
Nate
hang and
Robinson
he
needs
needs
to
to go
yeah.
hang the gloves
Yeah,
up back
yeah,
here.
yeah. He needs to
He needs to
he
go
needs to
join
do
Roe
something.
Jones Jr. on the freaking couch.
Yeah, Roy
You,
Jones.
you
Oh
know
man.
one of my most favorite quotes of the fight though was Snoop Dogg said, "This shit looked like two of my uncles fighting at the barbecue."
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, oh
That was
my
dope.
god, it really does.
Yeah,
And he kept referencing it. Damn, grandma's gonna come over here and get mad and keep hugging like this.
yeah. He had some good ones. What was he said? He's gonna if he commentates uh another sports event. He wants to lock down a 3 year, $15 million contract or something like that. Snoop
Get
Dogg
greedy,
was. So,
Snoop. Get
yeah,
greedy.
like calm down. Woo, easy there, big fella. How about you just go like? I
I
mean,
mean,
I don't know how
the
much you got for this.
commentating all the way around. We had Israel Asdenaya there, Snoop
You
Dogg,
had
And
Who was
then
that? Marlo Ronaldo, or who
we
was
also
the?
had the eyeless wonder. God, good night. Ray. Fuck, I can't remember his
It's
name.
it's Ronaldo. Uh,
No, Sugar Ray Leonard.
oh yeah.
The eyeless wonder.
Oh, it was yeah. Well, I thought Ray did a great job, but
Oh, he
it
did a
was
great job.
I'm
I
talking about.
thought at first he would be a little put off of Israel Asdania's commentating that he was doing on the fight because he was cussing a
Mm,
lot, you know what I mean? But he
yeah,
was playfully bantering, like, because you think of a guy like Sugar Ray, you're like, oh, respect in the sport. There's nobody looks down on that guy. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So he's bringing a little bit of the validity to the commentating side of things. And then you got Snoop, who's like on the opposite end of the spectrum,
yeah. He's down
blazing.
there like, and yeah, he's doing whatever because you could see who's that. I had not even. I mean, they had what was that? Mauro Ronaldo, the guy that was like the main one. He had the glasses and the long,
Oh, he was
beautiful.
amazing.
Yeah, his commentating was as beautiful as his hair. I mean, good
And
grief, it
now,
was
and
freaking.
he alluded to it a few times that he didn't quite know what he was, everything about the sport of boxing. He was brought in as a
Yeah,
voice, and he did a great job. I loved
yeah.
his analogies in the rings.
Well, now he did. Like I had made the comment. Who was it? I was talking with our mutual homeboy Dustin Muir on one of my posts I'd made on Facebook during the fight, and he was talking about different things about how like it was just a not your normal boxing event. And I told him I made the comment whenever Mauro Ronaldo referenced Snoop Dogg's song, which he totally used it out of context, which did not relate to what he was trying to say. But he referenced one of Snoop Dogg's songs, one of the lines where it says, "It ain't no fun if the homies can't have none."
It ain't no
Now, which I thought was amazing. Yeah,
fun if the
yeah, it
homies
is
can't
like, but he did it in a
have
yeah,
none.
but he did it in his he did it in his boxing announcer voice where it's like, "It ain't no fun if the homies can't have none," or something
Which is
silly like that.
amazingly white.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, very white. So and he used it out of context. It's like, hey, hey there, hey bud, do you know what that song's talking about? That's not what you were talking about, buddy. That is not. Yeah, it is not talking about dudes sharing their girlfriends with whatever they share them with.
you
I
know,
mean, they were
I
talking about this. Um,
I liked
so
I
anyway,
liked the interview style. They interviewed both fighters pre-fight going into the ring.
they
Uh,
did. I thought that was
and
weird.
then I also liked the one interviewee with both fighters, as opposed to the press conference style
Oh
of post-fight. Okay,
yeah, where they're
um,
both well, but that was
it's a
where they're both right there and
it's a
like,
lot it's a lot more personal. You get more real feeling. Um, Pre-fight Tyson, they ask him, they're like, "Is this a real fight again?" They ask him, and Tyson says, "I'm gonna protect myself and throw punches with bad intentions." Is what
mhm,
he tells people. I believe he
yeah,
did. He did everything that he said he was gonna do in that ring. He
I
said
thought he did a very good job.
he wasn't gonna hold back punches. I think they only called that a draw so that you wouldn't have to eat hot peppers.
And thank God. I'm very thankful for their decision in that,
Which
because yeah,
leads me
I'm,
to we have to find another sports bet to come up for our hot pepper challenge.
well, we can work that out.
We got some games coming up this week. We can do soccer. We can do all sorts of stuff. We can do a college game if you wanted.
Ooh, I like to. Speaking of college, my
Oh gosh,
man,
people
I
are
don't even know if
up in arms right now
man, I
because
don't even know if I
college
need
is
to mention it.
canceling games left and right.
Yeah, they are.
Florida
It's
State, Florida State is upset right now. Two games canceled back to back.
well, yeah, I know. I saw some of my Florida State fans that were saying how they're now they're just going to focus on basketball since they're season
It's
is
going to
not
be
going
the
to
same form in
do whatever.
basketball as it is in football. Get
Well,
ranked in
I
the
mean,
early season top 10, and by the end, you're at 50.
but so and you can go
Florida
this way,
State.
which could lead into some of our discussions with the NFL and their COVID situation. I think that until you go to a model of getting your program into some sort of a bubble, like uh, like Dana White started out with MMA and
Yeah,
doing that,
Fight
he set
Island.
the foundation. He set that foundation out there, and every single other model of pro sports has followed what he did. It worked in the NBA. Um, it somewhat worked in baseball, I believe, especially in the playoffs and in the World Series, and it definitely worked in the NBA.
Well, college,
We
you
weren't
have
seeing.
what? How many players in college? 70 on a side?
Well, I don't think
70
college. I don't.
players or something
Yeah,
like that?
I don't think you're going to work.
Well, even in
It's
the
not going to be a
NFL
good.
this year, you have 65 players. 64 is it's not a 53-man roster this year. And
Yeah, but they
it's
can. But the NFL could easily go
bubble?
to Orlando. Yeah, go to their bubble and go down and play in Orlando.
I don't
They
think
could
so.
easily go.
I don't think so. I don't
Why
think there's
not?
enough practice facilities for that in Orlando in general.
Are the schools shut down? I mean, they could
I
use.
guess, yeah, any
I mean,
field is a field, I guess. It
yeah.
don't
I
matter.
was gonna. You know. But yeah,
Um I
you're
just
right
think
about.
it's
I
the
could.
logistics are just so much harder in the NFL.
Yeah.
Which takes
So.
us right into our next topic here, which is the COVID crisis in the NFL. Um, Players are not following protocol. Denver Broncos quarterbacks, and they're being fined for it. Four Denver Broncos quarterbacks were fined today. That is outrageous. Not that they're being fined, the fact that these idiots who are making millions of dollars playing a game can't respect the protocol to continue the game. Your team went out and got embarrassed because you couldn't follow a protocol,
Well,
you
and then
know?
they tried to blame that the NFL was hosing them because of their quarterback situation when they tried to pull a uh, coach. I forget what the hell he's some one of
Oh,
their
Nick.
coaches.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
one of their offensive coordinator or whatever.
Fabrizi or whatever his name is.
Yeah. So they're trying to pull him off there, which hey, that's a great idea. That's an amazing idea. However, it's totally against the rules. It's totally against NFL policies, and the reasons why they have that in place
Because you don't want to
is
stash
to
players within the coaching
yes,
staff.
exactly. Yeah, like okay, you got I don't know a coach. Let's say you had like when Jason Garrett uh, got out of the system and out of the Cowboy system. Now, granted, you probably didn't want him being your coach, but if you needed to use him as a backup coach while he's down there doing his stuff in the trenches, as trying to get his foot in the door, but yet he's been out of the game for less than 2 years. Yeah, go ahead, do your thing, but it's gonna prevent teams from finding loopholes, and that's why it's in there.
Right. And
It's to prevent.
overall, this is bad for the brand of football because the NFL they've got to come down on them just a little bit on top of the fines from the team to the players. The fact that these players are not respecting the protocol and a
So
team.
what were so what were some of the things that they did with? I haven't looked at that. That's news to me. Um,
It
from
was
what I
so
what were
Drew
they doing?
Lock.
Yeah, what were they doing specifically that made them have them break protocol? I mean, is it like
It doesn't
when
it doesn't really say exactly what they were doing. Um, but they were doing whatever something obviously away from the team that contracted it. And apparently it's all the quarterbacks were all together not wearing masks somewhere.
hmm,
Um, is what it boils down to.
Done.
Whoa.
well, which I don't know if oh
And
yep,
so and
that's
and
what
I
they
mean
were.
and but the NFL could still fine the team and
So that's
the
what they were fined
players.
was for not wearing masks, which I don't necessarily agree
Um,
with them doing whatever. And that's a whole
but
other
that's on the team.
situation.
And then,
Yeah,
but the
but
NFL
the
could
thing,
still levy issues to these quarterbacks and the team as well. The team could still lose their draft pick for this
oh,
because they put such a poor quality on the field because of the irresponsibility of these
so
guys.
so you honestly think that they put together that's you think that that's why the Broncos sucked or are sucking is because they're not following COVID protocol?
No, the Broncos suck because their front office sucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just now I mean because I don't
They
necessarily
don't quite have the talent to match the
or are
rest of
you
the
saying
NFL.
or one thing you might be saying with what I kind of picked up on was they don't have the discipline to follow um, the simple rules of. Sorry, we got Deacon
You're all
interrupting over
good.
here. I'll be right there with you, buddy. So what I mean what I
They can't follow the
they don't
rules.
yeah they don't have the discipline to follow simple rules and follow simple protocols set by the NFL. So how do they have the discipline and to just the different character to go out and win and be productive on the field if they can't follow simple rules?
Exactly.
Um, yeah,
And that's pulling the thread that's going to unravel the sweater. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Um, you find that little problem that leads to the big problem. And the little problem right now is the fact that, all their quarterbacks are on the COVID list. The big problem is doesn't seem like anybody down there gives a shit.
yeah. They're
Um,
just kind of
but
writing this year
it's
off and
kind of
saying
like
screw it.
the Bears game this week. The Bears Packers. I like to talk about my Packers, but let's talk about the
Yep.
Bears. Nagy came out afterwards and says, "Hey, you guys need to play with some urgency and some pride. Have some goddamn pride in what you're doing." Those guys go out there. Now, I do not like the Bears whatsoever, but I do have a respect for them, and I've got a ton of respect for GSH, which is on their shoulder, Gene Hollis, one of the creators of the NFL.
Yep.
And the fact that these guys are going out there, they don't show like they want to even play. They're still in a damn playoff hunt. You know what I mean? But then you got teams like Jacksonville who are not in the playoff hunt, and they got some heart.
Yeah.
Like what's the difference? Is it the players or is it the
Or the
coaches?
Jets. Or the Jets. Like look at the Jets.
Oh,
The Jets with Frank Gore. I mean, the Jets are sucking ass.
feel
But if you
how
go,
bad do you feel for Frank Gore right now?
man,
It
I
breaks your
I really
heart
feel that.
thinking about
But it's
how good that guy is and could be somewhere.
it's a reflection on his character. That do you hear a peep from him? The
No.
only peep that you hear are people talking about him, and saying what his positive influence is in the locker room,
Hmm.
and saying there's some guys that they've interviewed from the Jets that have said this is even though we're getting our teeth kicked in, we're doing whatever. This is a very positive experience because he goes out there and he's not trying to tank. He's not trying to give up games. He wants to do it and give 100% every time he steps up there, you know,
Yeah,
just up to the line
respect.
against anybody, And so, yeah, I mean, dude, I feel for him, but you know what? That's just like I said, it's a reflection on his character and shows why he is a future Hall of Famer without a ring.
Oh, he's
I mean,
guaranteed Hall of Famer.
oh, dude, yeah, I would love to see him get on, even
Dude,
know,
send
pull
him
a,
to Miami right now.
pull a Pull a Gary Payton, and get on a good team to get your ring. Ain't no
Is
Shane
he under
Grandpa
contract, do you know? Do you think he's under contract
uh,
next year?
I think he was. I can check real quick, but I thought that he only signed like a 1 or 2 year deal,
I'll check it.
um,
I'll look it up right here.
with the.
Bang, Frank Gore.
I thought he. Yeah, it was a 1 year. It was a 1 year deal.
I mean, where does he go next year? Where would be the places for him to go?
Uh,
Miami's a good spot for him. They got maybe not the best
But he's
running
already.
back game.
I thought he'd already played with Miami, but I could
Did
be
he?
wrong.
I don't know.
Um,
Back to San Francisco.
I think it would be nice to see him either.
It could
I think it would be nice to see him finish his time with San Francisco. That'd be
I could
good
see him
if they
going
got a
to
good.
play for Detroit, even though they're not necessarily contenders. Contenders that need running backs. Uh,
It's
I
gonna
could
do.
see him
Well, they
thriving
don't
in a
need him.
Belichick system,
Yeah, don't. I mean, it'd be nice to see him go to the Chiefs, just so he would get
just
one.
so he could get one. Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't need a running back. I mean, they're already
The Packers
they're
running
set.
back situation next year is not good.
Yeah,
We're about to lose Jamal Williams. I can't believe we. I love the guy. We need him for our run right now, but I can't believe we didn't trade him before the deadline. He's
yeah.
final year of his contract. We cannot afford to extend a rookie contract for a backup running back. You know,
Yeah.
um, especially one
Well,
as talented as him.
but even with even the in the post McCarthy era of Green Bay, y'all haven't really relied too much on your running backs as it is. I mean, y'all are
Oh yeah, we have
you know,
actually. Aaron Rodgers attempts. I think he's like 16th in the league in pass attempts this year. Yeah,
huh?
see, he's got the highest QBR.
Maybe he's just starting to suck more. Yeah, that's it. That's just my dig.
Yeah, there's not many you can find on the guy.
Yeah, yeah, I can't.
He's
No,
not.
I, I, I love Aaron Rodgers. I love watching him play. I just said too many y'all,
You
too
get a
many.
chance to check him out on the Pat McAfee show at all. He's there every Tuesday, and it's
Okay,
amazing.
I would have to
He
start doing that more.
every Tuesday he goes on to the Pat McAfee show, even after they lost. He goes on to the Pat McAfee show on Tuesday, and AJ Hawk gives him some just real a-holy ass questions, dude. Just fucking gets on him.
Nice.
This week, Pat McAfee and him were taking just jabs at each other. All interview, dude. It was 40-minute interview, and Pat McAfee and Aaron Rodgers just kept taking jabs at him. And and I think at one point Aaron Rodgers is like, with the exception of J.K. Scott, which is his punter, punters and kickers aren't football players. He says Pat McAfee. Oh my
No,
goodness.
he said that.
Yeah,
Had,
he goes
Matt,
he
did
goes
Matt
with the
Wood
exception of
did
J.K.
McAfee
Scott.
show him his highlights?
McAfee's got a great thing going on, with the for the brand and everything. He's
Well,
got kickers all over the place wearing his gear. I like it. I really like it.
well,
We'll have some Hot Shot Sports Talk merch coming out here pretty soon. We'll have hoodies, hats, gloves, stuff like that
oh
coming
shit,
to you. We'll get you the Hollis V one of a kind limited edition hoodie. Okay. Um,
nice.
uh, all of it's in the
With the
works. I'm in the middle of a bunch of different kind of graphics design and making sure all this is gonna come out and come out at a decent price with good quality product. Um, you know, I would wear a shirt with your face on it, just how it is right now. That
yeah,
that little half 16-year-old mustache with the whatever you
with
got
the
going
hey
on down
man,
here.
it's I can't get out and get around. I mean, it's
That is a Mexican stash if I've ever seen one.
I am brown on the inside. Tell you
Well,
that. Orle, they don't call me
Órale,
Weddle.
amigo.
They don't call me Weddle for no reason, man. I mean,
Pinche Pinocho.
the 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 Texican. I don't even know where I was going with that, but
Yeah.
anyway, so let's we're talking about the COVID situation.
We kind of
This
got
said,
off on a tangent,
yeah,
but
we did we went way down the rabbit hole. So what
it,
else we got going on?
so we had Will Fuller from the Texans has a 6-game ban for PED. Okay. This is from a drug test taken before the season started.
And they're
Before
just now putting in it.
they just now suspended him for the last 6 games of the year. And well, 5 games this year and then 1 game next year because they're not making the playoffs. Texans are horrible this year. How they went so far last year, I do not know. Um, but yeah, so that's going down. We've got Fuller with a suspension, and this is the last year of his contract. Are the Texans even gonna sign him? Watson wants him to get signed again, but I don't think that they're gonna do it. And that's pretty much why the Packers didn't make a trade for him was, well, he's on a 1-year deal and there's no guarantee he's gonna sign with us in the following year, you know? And we don't have the space this year to give him any kind of extension. But the fact that he took the test at the before the season started, was able to play all these games, and then is now suspended for it is kind of bullshit. He should
Yeah,
have
but
been
was he going through
he
was he
sh-
going through an appeal or what?
no, there was no news of it until I think yesterday or the day before. There was zero news of Fuller testing positive. He knew he did. His team knew he did. The NFL knew he did. But no fans had any idea that this guy was going to be suspended for six games at the end of the year.
That's what they can. That's what the NFL came agree to, or
That's exactly what it is.
we'll see
Um,
that. Well, and of course he's hating because he's just come off, like he's actually been doing really well,
had the game of
and
his
actually had some.
career
Yeah,
this
he's
week.
had some. He's been balling out, and yeah, of course he's getting pissed. Um, and so it's like I guess what it was.
He got treated. He got treated by a doctor in the off season for a sickness.
Well, it was well no, it wasn't.
That was the article I read on it.
Oh, well, yeah, I was just looking at an article now was saying that he unknowingly used a product that was contaminated with a banned substance by the NFL.
Yeah, one of
And
his
that's
doctors
in.
gave it to him.
Also, he took some. He was taking dick pills. That's what he was doing. So he popped positive on that. But no, I'm
Maybe.
sorry.
Oh shit.
You know, that was a big conspiracy a few years ago, especially when Bones Jones tested positive recently. Was that he was taking dick pills, and because I
Oh
mean,
man.
I wouldn't know, personally, but there are a few substances in those pills that can test positive. And another thing, I mean, like, what if he had? What about those the athletes that are prescribed like or Ritalin used to, now it's Adderall and all that. Now they're changing drugs now. I mean, those show up as PEDs or
I
banned
mean,
substances, and depending on what they are and stuff. So I mean that
there's like two schools of thought of it, and it's like let everybody do them or let nobody do them. You know what I mean? People that I've talked to, like, let everybody do the steroids. Let everybody do it. But there's health issues that come along with that. So when you have athletes like this who may have unknowingly taken it, you know,
yeah,
there's no gray area for it. Either you did it or you didn't do it. They're not
yeah.
they're not turning back suspensions because they're like, well, like maybe your doctor gave it to you and you didn't know what you were doing and you didn't even know that you had taken it, so we're not going to suspend you because you had no idea. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? They're not even doing that. They're like, no, you're done. 6 games.
Well,
That's just the way
well,
it is.
I want to look at that as like the doping scandals that went on in professional
Baseball.
cycling.
Oh,
I'm
cycling.
talking,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, with the
baseball. That's a whole nother different conversation. But the doping scandal that went on in professional cycling was ridiculous. I mean,
yeah.
like, if you weren't doing it, then you weren't trying to be competitive. And if you were being competitive without doing it, you're basically killing yourself because the other people they have all this help. But I think in one of the interviews that Lance Armstrong did was he was able to uh, bunk one of his tests where he tested positive because there was a type of cream that he used or something like that. It was a topical. Like he tested positive for the same. thing that was in a topical ointment but he wasn't taking that topical ointment, but he used that as a defense to get out of it and was able to still carry on and do what he was doing all these times was because there were different things going on and there was this topical ointment that people were using and then they kind of like pushed that off to the side because it was accidental or unintentional. He could use that defense.
Right, but
You know,
you'll never hear the respective sport apologize for it. You know what
oh
I mean?
no, yeah,
Whether it's baseball, cycling, tennis, football, you'll never hear the sport apologize for it. You're never gonna see Ricky Williams and Josh Gordon get that money back that they lost for smoking weed. That is now widely acceptable all the way across, majority of the states in America now.
here, here.
Um, yeah, look at you go. Um, but but that's what I'm saying. Like those guys aren't gonna get that money back,
Yeah,
and they
and
should they should have never been hassled in the
oh,
first place over it.
speaking of that, there was an interview that Tyson came up with, which, and this goes back to our discussion about Tyson and his drug test when he was submitting fake samples.
Right.
Um, Tyson admitted in a post-game interview that he was back there blazing right before he even walked out. Like when you see him walking into his entrance there, uh,
For the
on
for
the
the Jones fight?
yes, said he was high as giraffe's tits.
I
Uh,
love this guy so
yeah,
much. Are you
yeah.
kidding
As
me?
he said, yeah. I mean, I'd have to. I saw it and I was like, damn. I mean,
Dude,
I
if I
guess
knew
that's
I'm
cool.
getting ready to get into a fight, we're sitting over here, we're at the ball field, some shit, I see some shit going on. Hollis, let me hit that bleezy.
Yeah,
And then go fucking whoop some ass. God damn, Tyson is amazing. The guy
yeah.
just gets
CBS.
better.
Yeah, the first article I pulled up, it's with CBS Sports. I forget where I saw it. I think it was definitely not a more. It wasn't a credited site, kind of like this, but oh fuck. Yeah, I will. Sorry, I had something playing over the deal, but yeah, it's basically reported that he blazed like right before he walked out. I was excited about that. Um,
Well, let's move on just a little bit. We got some more
yeah,
exciting stuff coming up. The NBA season is set to kick off in 3 weeks to the day. December
damn.
23rd, the NBA season is going to kick off. And it is amazing. It's going to open with the Warriors traveling to Brooklyn to play the Nets and KD. That I think the Warriors probably going to get smacked around a little bit.
Yeah.
We're not going to see Justinian get out there just yet. He's on his Australian league contract for a year.
Well, and
Uh,
we're gonna miss Clay Thomas or
Clay
yeah,
Thompson.
Clay Thompson. Yeah,
Um, I don't think that the Golden State Warriors will ever in you know it sucks to say in Curry's time left with the team. I don't think they're ever gonna make it back to real relativity in the NBA.
man.
Um,
I think it depends on how Steph does and how his boy
he's
Clay
too
does.
oft
But
injured right now, man. Every season's
so I think it depends on Clay, um, Curry, and Green.
you know.
I think with those three there, especially, I mean, Draymond Green is one of the most, in my opinion, underrated players in the
I could
and
concur
hated
with that. He's
and
hated.
hated in the he's most underrated and most hated.
Doesn't he kind of look like
NBA.
Donkey from Shrek?
He's ugly as he's yes
He looks like Donkey
he's
from Shrek.
uglier than anything. Yeah, he's yes he's a mouth breathing, ugly Shrek looking mofo. But that dude can ball and he can get out there and he can hoop and he does things on the side and gets into your skin and just does his thing and where he doesn't let people get to him. I think a lot of it depends on him. and it depends on the health of Curry, obviously, and Clay. Because if those three guys can get out there on the court, the other two dudes that are out there, I don't know, you
You
can
think they're
find a
just
big,
warm bodies?
yeah, you can find two bodies that are going to go out there. I mean, yes, they
Let
need to
him
have
get
some
healthy
skill.
this year.
They
We
need
get
to
our
have,
boy Justinian out there, that 6'7" shooter, man,
yeah,
from Nome. I
yeah,
watched some of his clips in Boise. I saw a few games last year. You know, I'm a big Boise State fan. Don't watch too much Boise State basketball. We're not the most exciting. I watched him play a little bit last year. Um, he's good, and at 6'7", he can play all the way around the court, which
it's a
is
big dude.
it's a big guy that can shoot 40% from the three
Yeah,
and also get down and mix it up. He's got a little bit of a frame to him, you know what I mean? He needs to bulk up like a lot of college kids, you know, coming into the NBA.
hmm
Um,
yeah. Well, he's got a good example of that. Have you ever follow that HEPA
LeBron's
kid?
6'7".
That what about that HEPA kid that was from? He's from Barrow, and then he went down and played in Portland. And he's actually playing in the UT system right now. He's going to school
Oh,
at UT.
I can't think. I
That
can't peg
guy.
his name right now.
Well, his name's HEPA. I forget what his last name is, but hang
Filter, filter.
on. I'm trying to pull it up.
Curry says. Curry
Oh,
says that.
Kamaka HEPA is his last name.
Okay.
But that guy, once he left Alaska, you talk about putting on some pounds. That guy, he's bulked up.
Right.
Um, done
Well,
the same
Curry
because
is
he left.
saying their new rookie is going to be able to do some work for him. James Wiseman.
Yeah.
Uh, that they got, and he thinks that he's a guard. He's going to be able to come in and actually do work for him.
Well, there's several teams in the NBA that need to do some rebuilding. I mean, you got your or the Warriors definitely have some things to do. My main focus, being the diehard Spurs fan that I am, is just focusing on some recent comments that came out from Popovich, from Big Pop, uh, past couple of days, where someone interviewed him about different things, how he felt the Spurs organization was going, and his response was, "I don't remember winning a championship last year. I don't even remember going to the playoffs last year." And so that's, he's saying it's time for some change. It's like, we're doing this, we're doing that. So I'm very interested in what
Whoa, and
the
Pop's the
the
guy to
Spurs,
listen to. When that guy
dude.
speaks basketball, listen. And
Yeah,
honestly, I
yeah,
think when he speaks activism too, we should all listen. I like what Pop says. I'm not. That's no cap. I like when him and Kerr get into the media and
yeah,
bring some of this stuff to the light because it throws it in the face of some of those that may still be on the fence. This isn't really happening, and
yeah.
we're
I would
all
add.
still pretty equal. I just kind of like it when Pop gets out there with the activist side.
Well,
He's
and
he's well
especially for,
spoken.
yeah, very
Uh,
well spoken.
he did. Him and Kerr both think before they say when they're on the topic. They both think before they're talking. And
Right,
they're
and Steve Kerr definitely is more friendly to the media than
Pop.
Pop is. But I mean, Pop's an asshole. He does different things. I remember I've watched his interviews, and there'll be somebody just being nice, and it'll be a female reporter, and they'll ask him two questions, and they'll do whatever, and kind of they feel like they're breaking the barrier down, and then they'll ask Pop another question, and Pop will be like, you only get two questions, and that's it.
That's
And then
it.
yeah, and that's it. And he just does that with everyone.
Hey,
So for
time
Pop
is
to,
money, and I ain't got
yeah,
time for you.
yeah. So Steve Kerr going off the reservation on, where it's a sports deal and goes in, and I'm not saying that it's wrong what he's doing. I mean, it's, you use your platform, you do your thing, and get your voice out there, have your voice heard. So I respect that. But so for Steve Kerr to go off the reservation on a sports interview and go off onto other things that are going on in the world, it's not that abnormal. But when Pop does, yeah, you need to listen up.
You kind of need
Some
to just
yeah
sit down and open your ears, you know.
yeah
And in the
it's
last 2 years, he's said a lot on that subject,
yeah
on racism and police activity
yeah and it's
in America, and he's brought up valid points. And we all believe that not all police are bad. We have to believe that, or else we are not a civilized nation. You know what I mean?
100% yeah.
Um, I don't believe
Well,
all
and
police are bad. You don't either.
no,
Uh,
not at all. And
but
Pop is
but the
a lot of. I don't know if a lot of people know that Popovich. He's a vet. He's a veteran of the United States Air Force.
yeah,
He's been there. He's done that. I mean, his patriotism runs deep. He does his thing, but I mean, it's what's we're going off on a totally different
we're
topic here.
good.
But
We
I
can do
mean,
whatever we want. This is a hot
yeah,
shot. It's a sports topic,
yeah.
man. This needs to be talked about.
But no, I mean, it's for he's definitely been through a lot of different situations and just had a lot of different experiences that white males that are the same age as him have not had those experiences to just be a part of different diverse cultures that he has. And so his opinions and perspective on the world, it's a lot different than somebody, you know, his age that's living in Podunk, West Texas. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's I'm not exactly sure where I was going with this, but I just
You're just confirming that the fact that what he's saying is right.
it's like you need well, I'm not confirming that what he says is right, but I mean that's for other people to determine and have their own opinion about. But I feel that his opinion needs to be listened to. You might not agree with it. You might not think it's right or wrong, just like my opinion, just like your opinion, just like everybody else's. But I think that someone with such a diverse experience and just how he is, I mean, just being, going through so many different walks of life, dealing with so many young men, trying to recruit them into his program, dealing with so many different young individuals, just growing up and just from all sorts of walks of life,
Yeah, the
all
gentleman
different
that
colors.
he's getting into
Yeah.
his locker room, the rookies and stuff, those guys are barely adults.
And you talk about a cultural melting pot, dude.
San
That guy
Antonio.
was just and just his program. Like, look at all the people that he's recruited. Some of the best European ball players to ever play in the NBA have gone and played for Greg Popovich,
Mhm.
and also some of the best ball players in the U.S. have gone and played for Greg Popovich. So he
How
knows how
long's
to
he
do it.
been
He
down there
knows
in old San Antone?
since I believe he took over there in it was 96
Oh
96 or
Jesus, so
97.
he did have Dave.
Yeah,
He did have Big
yeah.
Dave
They went and they had the worst. They went from worst
to a
record. So they
championship, right?
they in less than
With the
2 years,
Twin
I think.
Towers.
Yeah, because they drafted Timmy in 97, and I mean, hell, they had Vinny Del Negro was the basketball coach for the Spurs in 96, I think. And then Popovich took over and they started doing their thing. And it was freaking awesome. But yeah, he had Tim Duncan was rookie of the year in 97. They did no, it would have been 90, might have been 98, but then they won in 99. Um Started doing their thing. But yeah, man, it was good good
So
times as a Spurs fan.
now we're kind of off subject here. You got me thinking about old basketball, and I'm thinking about that old like McDonald's commercial where you got Magic Johnson and Larry Bird
Oh, with the eating
hitting
it.
those crazy shots around the
Yeah,
world, all the other thing, and then Jordan shows up,
yeah, and
right?
they're eating fries or whatever. Yeah.
Right? I was thinking
Yeah.
this the other day. I'm like, man, wouldn't it be great to redo that commercial where you got freaking Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady doing trick shots with footballs, right? And then Mahomes walks in. He's like,
Oh yeah,
"Hey guys, what's up? Can I play?" And they're like, "Oh shit."
yeah. Well, it was kind of like it was like that one um I forget what commercial it was for, but you had um Bo Jackson on there doing his thing. It was Bo Jackson. Who was it? Bo Jackson. I think Russell Westbrook. It was Deion Sanders was on it. It was multiple pro sport athletes on there, and then Kyler Murray comes in. Oh, it was Heisman. It was
Oh,
a high,
Heisman. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it was a
yeah.
Heisman deal because it was
He's
was
like,
it
"Nah,
Bo
you gotta
Jackson
go
had that?
keep cleaning the shit."
Yeah. That one was a pretty good one. That was I think that was the Super Bowl commercial last year
Yeah, yeah.
actually.
That was good. I love all those the Heisman House commercials.
Yeah,
They got old Barry sitting in there. Everybody, I love those old Heisman commercials, man.
man,
Well,
we are.
we're doing good. We're right. We just hit an hour just now. Um,
Yeah, I probably ought to get here in a little bit.
no
I'm
problem.
gonna
I
have to.
say we should wind this up. Hollis, this was good. We do have to make a bet. I'm gonna make a proposal right here. We're gonna look at games for next
Hang on, let me.
week
Yeah, we
in the
talked about.
NFL. College is pretty volatile right now. College is
Yeah,
really volatile right now.
speaking of that, I got to give a shout out to the
Week 13.
Texas A&M football program this year. Is making me happy.
Oh yeah.
They're doing good things. They actually were. I'll pull up the standings right now and pull at them, but they were just on the bubble of being in the top five, um, or in the top four, actually in the playoffs. Uh, little deal there.
Well, actually, I think a good game, maybe the best game of the entire week next week for the NFL. There's two of them. We got LA versus Arizona, LA Rams versus the Arizona Cardinals, or Cleveland, Tennessee, the Browns
Mm.
versus the Titans. I think both of those
Yeah.
are probably the two most competitive games of the week. Everybody else, like literally every other game looks like a blowout. New Orleans, Atlanta, Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland,
Well,
like Miami, Cincinnati, Minnesota, Jacksonville, Las Vegas
there,
versus the Jets, Indianapolis versus Houston, Seattle versus New York. The Packers are playing Philadelphia. The Chargers have the Patriots, and Kansas City has Denver. Every game besides that Tennessee Cleveland and the Rams Cardinals game, every other game's a walk. Pittsburgh's gonna smash Washington. Buffalo's gonna annihilate San Francisco, and
well, how do we?
Baltimore is gonna handle Dallas.
Uh, I hope not,
I
but
hope,
they
for
are.
your sake, I hope not. But
No,
I
I'm pretty sure, man. I
I
mean,
I like you, Hollis. I can only kick that horse so many times.
yeah, I don't understand why everybody wants to just continually shit on a shitty team, but it's all good.
Because when
So
you guys
who
when
you?
you guys are up, it's that's all we hear. Is Jones
Oh,
has a
I.
lock on
What?
news networks.
Okay. Yeah, that's the truth. Yeah, you don't hear shit right
so
now.
so
Um,
I'll let you pick the game, either Cleveland, Tennessee, or LA, Arizona. But I picked my team.
so I understand you're probably gonna go for the LA. You're going for LA because of your boner for their what's his name for that's their defensive stud.
Oh yeah, that's
Uh,
my guy.
yeah. Um,
Um,
so
yeah, if that's the game, I'm definitely gonna pick LA. Although it's gonna be close. It's not like that's a given.
but
Um,
The Tennessee and Cleveland game, I kind of like that, depending on who you're going for
uh,
in that
f-
one.
believe it or not, I would take Cleveland in this game.
Hmm.
They're rolling right now. They're doing things. It's in
Yeah.
Tennessee. Um, I would take Cleveland over Tennessee in this game on the road.
Huh. Well, we'll vote for that one because I mean, I
You
love the
like the
Browns,
Titans?
but I love the Titans in that
Derrick
situation at
Henry's
home.
Derrick Henry
Yeah,
is a
Derrick
different
Henry's
kind
the
of human.
beast.
He
Ryan
it's
Tannehill,
Derrick
Ryan
Henry's
Tannehill.
right there with Aaron Donald, the defensive tackle for the
Yeah,
Rams, a
yeah.
specimen of a human being.
Derrick Henry could go play defensive end for the Rams if he wanted to. Is just what a freakish athlete he is. I mean,
Linebacker, could you
yeah,
imagine seeing that guy at linebacker?
I don't want to be
That'd be
hit.
the
I mean, I
scariest fucking thing on this planet to see that
well
guy
imagine
playing linebacker.
well imagine being a linebacker and seeing him run at your ass. I mean, imagine
Yeah.
trying to have to tackle you. Yeah, they no, I don't want nothing to do with that.
Way
But
more scary, I think way more scary than AP in his prime.
yeah,
Um, all right, so there's our bet. That's the Hot Shot Sports Talk bet of the week right
yep.
there. You want to stay up on this? Pay attention to that game. Cleveland at Tennessee. You'll get to see Hollis eat a hot pepper next week.
We'll
Or
see.
Willie. Or Willie.
Yeah, we'll see.
Not happening.
I mean,
Not
I like
happening.
the Browns, but man, I mean, I mean, you got Derrick Henry. He's a badass, and then you got that Ryan Tannehill, being that Texas A&M alumni. I can't not root for him.
Right?
And then there's several other different factors that go in with Tennessee, but I love Cleveland.
I
But
like
man,
Tannehill. Tannehill's a good quarterback.
yeah,
I
he's
like him.
smart.
He's
He's
really
smart. He
smart.
does his thing. He's very team oriented. He does whatever is best for the team.
I didn't think he got a
But
fair shake down in Miami.
down in Miami, no,
No,
hell no,
not
nah,
at all.
man. Miami was not a good fit for him. I wasn't happy to see him go there. I kind of wish he had done better. Um, but yeah,
Well,
but I got much love for the Browns too on that. I mean, you got Baker Mayfield doing his thing, and that kid's had a chip on his shoulder since college.
right.
And I always enjoy watching him. I love the Browns too, man. They're one of my AFC teams, but the Titans, and they've been my team since they left Houston in the AFC. I followed them. I remember watching Frank Wycheck make that Music City Miracle
Dude.
backwards lateral. I mean,
Oh my gosh. Was it
that's my race,
backwards?
man. I think with the
It's close. It's
I
close.
I believe that with the technology that we have now and the instant replay situation,
No.
this year in 2020, that is going to be overturned. Whereas that last time, I mean, they had the replay, but they didn't have all the different views and angles that they had
No, they
now.
had two
And
views or two angles or something to look at.
yeah, and so yeah, it was weird and you couldn't really get into it. I mean, even announcers are kind of like, yeah, but with all the coverage that you have, it's not really enough to overturn it. So
Right,
if you want to
right.
go into the root of how it's supposed to be, then but I don't care. I mean, I wanted I mean, granted, that would have been Buffalo's that was actually like the last time that Buffalo was ever
Relevant?
looking to win a playoff game. Like to win a playoff game, much less
Yeah,
be in the
just be
playoffs,
in one.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
goodness.
anyways, I but anyway, I mean that's where my roots with Tennessee roll. So anytime
Well,
I see them
that's going to be
playing,
our
what I
bet
mean?
of the week. I got Cleveland Browns. You got the Tennessee Titans. Derrick Henry. I'm going to take Baker. We're going to do things. Well, all right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for the show today. Hot Shot Sports Talk, Hollis v. Willie G. We just realized that 85% of our viewers are not subscribed. So if you would like to subscribe, please click right here. And if you want to watch our last video, click right here. All right, guys. Have a good day.